Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 159 of the Top Loaded podcast. And before I introduce our very special guest to talk about a lot of sets that have all of a sudden decided to come out in the last 2 to 3 weeks, just a massive thanks yet again to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded podcast. Whether you need car supplies, custom car sound, grade preparation kits, or whatever it may be, head over to their website, check out their shop, or use the link in our bio and use the code TTP10 at checkout for 10% off your whole order. And we've got so much to talk about, so we're going to get straight into it. But first of all, the man, the myth, the 200,000 plus subscribers now on YouTube, Mr. GBW. How you doing, my friend?
Very good, thank you. I like that intro. Hopefully next time I'm on it's a higher number. But yeah, we keep on growing, we grind, all these card releases, it's great fun. So, but most importantly, how are you?
Oh, I'm very well. We've had the weather. It's sadly near the end of football season, but I suppose it gives us time to actually talk to people. But
Yeah.
it's not that. More time for cards, that's what I say. But first of all, there's only one place to start. This Saturday at Wembley Stadium, a certain Mr. Abire Eza scores the winning goal. And that collection of yours, which you just brought out a video on YouTube, which I heavily recommend going watching, for a QPR fan who see him right at the beginning of his career, that must have been great to see him reach the heights that you knew that he could have this whole time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw his debut, his professional debut against Blackburn in the FA Cup in 2017, which was, he started the game, came off injured midway through. So I thought, oh, here we go again. It's another star boy he's come on, he's made half an hour appearance, and then we're never going to see him again. But no, he came back, scored against Sunderland. That was his first professional goal. Sunderland when they got relegated back to back that year. Now here he is winning the FA Cup, his first major trophy, hopefully the first of many. And as you say, the collection is looking pretty strong. People looked at my thumbnail and saw 10k on it. That's the overall value, not the value of the colour blast. I know it's had people talking, but that's the whole point of a clickbait thumbnail. So you've fallen into that trap. Looking at the card values, they've been going up recently because of his form, but now he's won the cup. And he's going to be playing in Europe next year, whether it's for Palace or not. Let's be honest, he will get moved to a big European team. If he doesn't stay at Palace, it'll be someone Champions League, even Europa League. I don't even know. But regardless, Topps cards are coming, and this collection's about to get stacked.
I was going to say, now, especially for you, Topps cards are coming. But I have to say as well, is there any teams that you're like, please do not sign for them because they can't go into the collection? Because no matter what it is, everyone's got at least one team that they're like, nope, can't do that, can't go there.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's a big one for obvious reasons. Sorry, Lav, if you're watching or listening. I just can't have Chelsea. We signed Harvey Vale in the summer, or not in the summer, in January. He's got rookie cards, or quite a few rookie cards for Chelsea. I can't buy them. I physically cannot. I cannot have a Chelsea card in the collection or anything like that. That's just sickening. So I can't have that. Don't really want Spurs, if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind it. I know you obviously hate the idea of Spurs, but I don't mind it. But I don't mean to be horrible. I know they're in the Europa League final, but he's a better player than what Spurs are as a club right now. Personally, I think he can get into any of the clubs in the top four right now. I think he'd fit in at Liverpool. He'd fit in at Arsenal. I also think he'd do really well over in Italy. I've said this for a while now. It's his kind of scene. You've got the Mavericks out there. Adel Taarabt went out there for AC Milan, did very well. So maybe goes to Inter Milan, AC Milan. I don't know, but regardless, it'll be as long as it's not Chelsea or I don't know why I'm saying this name, but Brentford. I mean, he will never make that move. But no.
Yeah, that's a safe one. He won't be going there anytime soon. Don't worry about that one. And before we talk about some of the recent releases, there's one video I had to speak about, which was you recently went to the San Siro, and it is a magnificent stadium. To open up one of the Milan boxes, which were beautiful. First of all, not just talking about the video, but how was it to be opening a box inside such a legendary stadium like the San Siro?
It doesn't really sink in until you edit the video. I re-edited it today, actually, for a shorter form video on TikTok. And just going back and thinking, I just don't remember it. It's all a bit of a blur. It just felt like just another day opening up a box in some random place. But No, it was the San Siro. Since obviously going to the San Siro, they've had that incredible semi-final second leg against Barcelona, which was one of the best games of the season. I mean, that Acerbi goal right at the end was just that's ridiculous. And how Yamal didn't score in that. Anyway, that's for another story. Yeah, it is quite surreal. Some stadium, and to open up a box which was that good was pretty special. It's just a shame that AC Milan aren't doing quite as well as Inter Milan this year. But some of AC Milan's legends. I mean, both of the museum is just a joke. Some of the players who play for those two teams is stupid.
Yeah. I was going to say, when I was seeing the video and you see these names and you're like, it's just great. And then you're like, oh, let's see the other side. And then you go from like Maldini's, Kaká, and you go, oh, it's not too bad. And then you go, oh, R9. Okay, yeah. And then, oh, by the way, there's a Maradona shirt just because he played in the stadium. Fair enough. It's just like, what's going on? But I've got to say as well, them cards did look great as well for that AC Milan set. And that new format that Topps have gone with are these more premium sets, the more like your 5 to 6 cards per box. It's quite similar to a certain club that have just had a lineage come out. I'm not saying the name. Lav can do that on his TikTok that he's put out, which done very well. But I really like these sets because it cuts out the more of the base fodder, like them kind of parallels. And some of these numbered cards in there, especially some of these low print autos, I've seen some nice Latans, Ronaldinho, Maldini. It's just crazy the names in that set. But when you was opening it, did you find it like one of them as well? You're like, wow. Oh, wait, that's a good name. Oh, wait, that's a good name. Oh, wait, I didn't really hear of him. Oh, wait, he won about 30 trophies.
Yeah, that's the thing with AC Milan. It's not their current crop of players is good. Like it's a decent team, but it's just not quite how good the legends were. The first card out of the box was a Van Basten patch auto, which is just ridiculous. The second card, pull it out auto out of 10. Patrick Kluivert, Costa Curta, that's the guy I never heard of. I called him Cost Cutter, and bro's won multiple trophies. This he's no random bloke. He's some player. Rafael Leao, honestly, it was a spectacular box. And as you mentioned about these club releases, I'm a big fan as well.
Yeah.
It's a shame the Invincibles one was a little bit of a stinker considering what it could have been. I mean, what they needed there was Arsene Wenger autos just to, properly have a big chase because we've seen Henry autos too many times. I know, don't get me wrong, it's a great auto to get, but it would have been nice to have an ultimate chase from that by the man who orchestrated the Invincible season, of course. But yeah, the other sets like Chelsea lineage, even Liverpool lineage a couple of years ago, which sort of kick-started it. Those sets are great for collectors, and that is that's the most important thing. And it's not just those sets; it's the fan sets, the team sets, the lower end stuff, which is getting. For example, you walk into the Fanatics collectible store. You're you don't want to be an Arsenal fan walking in there because all the team sets are sold out because they seem to sell out the quickest of all teams, which is crazy. You've got, for example, you're a Chelsea fan. You walk in there, you see a fan set. Okay, might go for a fan set. Team set, a bit of a higher budget, guaranteed auto or relic, and then you've got the lineage box as well. So not just you don't have to be a collector. You can just go in there, and then once you bought that, you're hooked. That's what Topps are doing so well.
Yeah, I was going to say that is what they're drawing people in, and it's obviously it's a perfect interlude to talk about. There was a Chrome release last week, but just talk about Chrome in general. Obviously, that ultimate chases you were talking about, there's some ridiculously good chases in this new Chrome set. I think the one that speaks out from what I think is just incredible is a Sir Alex Ferguson. That is just like one auto that no one always people asked for. That's what it was. People asked for it, but it probably never happened. And then when they announced it, it's such a cool chase. Them on-card autos are a stunning set, and they're so scarce as well. And that's what I think they've done very well. I know, obviously, you've broken some of it, but having them so scarce, and when you hit one of them, you know it's a big hit. So I think I've seen a Yamal from the set to 25, I believe. But that is what you want in cards. You need them big chases. Sometimes you see these case hits. They're fantastic, but there's thousands and thousands of cases made. So these ones where the average number of people are trying to work out now is potentially 1 in every 30 hobby cases or something like that. That's a proper chase.
Yeah, I think there's some account on Twitter tweeted about the Alex Ferguson thing earlier. I think they've finally spotted the first Chrome Auto to have been pulled, and it's a red out of 5 parallel. And honestly, it looks absolutely fantastic. I can't remember who tweeted it, otherwise I would have mentioned the name. but definitely search it up, Alex Ferguson Chrome. So I'd imagine his Chrome sticker autos are super short print.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of cases open, you've got people like Castro Collector upping 80 cases in 80 hours or something like that. That's just bonkers. And they hadn't hit an Alex Ferguson, I don't think. So they must be super short print. And these on-card autos as well, which, where are they? Maybe they're waiting for a second wave of cases for those to be added in. I'm not too sure. But yeah, again, these big chases, it makes the price point worth it, in my opinion. Because, especially the addition of a lot of legends as well. They've got George Weah autos for the first time, which is another new, unique name. Legend, Ballon d'Or winner. It's good to see these big names and sets make it a fun chase, not just for the rookies, which isn't the greatest class this year. I mean, there's a few Kenda for Sporting and Mora for Porto. They're the main two. Endrick, obviously, but he's had 10 million rookies already, so doesn't really count in my opinion. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying Chrome, which is good, considering a couple of years ago it was a chore to open.
Yeah, we've had our own experience of Chrome, but talking over, so obviously Dub Breaks over on Fanatics Live, that you was doing a few not even cases, you was doing a few boxes last week from the store, and when you were talking about, you see a hit and you're like, damn, that's very nice. And we're not just talking like a low numbered card, we're talking dual autos, triple autos, but there's one in particular. There was a dual auto which I thought just looked stunning. And before I talk about the triple, because the triple's even crazier, but even that one, Van Dijk Carragher to 5, the red color match, that's them type of cards that just look stunning, but also you just know a collector will just cherish them kind of cards. And that's what it's so great about for you must be breaking it to know that is going to someone who actually collects that spot, and that's going to be that growl in their PC.
Ironically, I think the person who bought that spot was a Man United fan.
Well,
so yeah, I don't think they'll be cherishing.
Well, it's getting a payday at least.
Yeah, exactly. That's a strong payday. Liverpool fans, I've realised, like Arsenal fans, they pay heavy on cards they want for their collection, which I respect. There's some proper collectors for both those teams, Liverpool and Arsenal. And yeah, that dual auto was disgusting. It was absolutely stunning. That was from a jumbo box. And I mean, dare we go in to describe the triple auto situation? We were on a bit of a time constraint. I had to step in for Plut and rush through the hobby boxes. And then lo and behold, a red triple auto comes out. Real Madrid, Vinicius Jr., Endrick, rookie, and Rodrigo, triple auto to 5 from a hobby box. That's one in 63,000 packs. I mean, it was just, it was ridiculous to have that and the dual auto, then a Pedri auto to 10 in another hobby box, and Kenda auto to 52, which was a pretty mental hit for the rookie chase. I mean, I'll tell you what, that was a fun day of streaming at the Fanatics store. It's a fun rip.
I was going to say, I can always tell when Dub Breaks hit something. I might just have it playing in background. All I hear is you just go, oh. That's all you say. You don't even say anything else. You just go, oh, and then you always look down. I was like, I think I done exactly the same thing. I looked down and I was like, oh. I was like, because you was just doing the hobby boxes. You're expecting just the normal go-to autographs that come out quite a lot. And looking at Chrome on a whole, obviously, we all know it's a high print run. It's always going to be Chrome. That's what we've accepted that now. But there's a lot of low-numbered parallels now. You've got these Ray Wave kind of designs. You've got the Tops Fractal, which I think looks stunning, to 52, I believe. But it's also, there's a few of the inserts that have had a bit of a makeup as well this year that I know, for example, yourself, you quite like the Galazzo insert. I think that's actually quite good looking. It's kind of, it gives me the Hidden Gems reminder of like last year, of that speckled, like really like a white sparkle for people who know it more in Panini. But I think Tops are doing that slightly better now as well. It's actually making cards that look good, as well as, because Galazzo last year, I don't think it's a secret. It weren't the best of designs last year. However, this year, definitely taking a step up.
I mean, it's even in the Match Attacks collections they're putting out. Some of the cards they've designed in there, you could easily see in a product like Topps Chrome. So across the board, they are improving with their designs. I think the Shadow Etch case hit is stunning as well. I think that's a really nice, smart card. Big fan. And as you say, some of the chases you can get from boxes. I found out today, speaking to none other than Clinical Cards, bless him, that there is a Chinese exclusive parallel in red envelopes known as the Hongbao Red New Foil, number to 8. And it looks absolutely stunning. Get Clinical to send you a picture after this stream, because it is absolutely brilliant. So you've got that as a chase. I mean, good luck to you if you're chasing a rainbow from Chrome, because as we said, the print run is astronomical. And I'm counting at least 30, 40 parallels per card here, which is crazy. Not to mention 10 of them to 10 or less. So, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, moving on, obviously, we can talk about Chrome for a while, but I'm talking about rainbows. And if you're going to do a rainbow, there's only one way to do it properly, and that's to get the black 1 of 1 and the black 1 of 1 auto of a certain player. So moving on to Prism now, it does. We always say, especially early doors, when it gets ripped, you see him first off the line come out, always looks great. For me, the low numbered Prism stuff is always beautiful as well. The golds, the greens, obviously the blacks. But this is the last Premier League Prism, which is a bit. It's a bit upsetting in a way that we've come to love the set, and now obviously they're moving over to tops come June. So obviously for the last Prism release, you've done quite well, to say the least. So before we talk about the actual set and how good it is, your luck weren't too bad in one of the first case breaks you entered via Golden Goal, was it?
Yeah, I think it was literally the first Prism break I entered this year. Just casually bought it in Milan. I think it might have been bought at the San Siro, which is kind of mental. It was either that or the day before. I can't remember. The Eze spot, as you do, you go for it. It's just a hobby case. You're probably not going to hit, let's be honest. And then at the Milan trade night, the night before, I get a message from Church of Cards, Dan, who said, "You better be watching this Golden Goal stream." Whenever he messages, I know something's happened. I don't go outside to tune in, but as I'm walking out, Jason, the breaker, he rings me, he FaceTimes me. So then I know, okay, this is big. I was thinking maybe it's an out of 10, an out of 5. No, it was the black True Hobby 1 of 1 from a break for $40, which I was absolutely buzzing with. That was weekend made already, and the card show hadn't even begun. So yeah, definitely going to try and go for a rainbow of that if I can. If I can find the out of 5, then definitely that rainbow is going to happen, because the out of 5 is always quite tricky as well.
Yeah.
But if I can find that, yes, I'll go for that. Also in that break, I hit the manga case hit Eze, so it's a pretty successful one for $40. So that was a great start. And then last week on Card Hobby, managed to pick up the 1 of 1 auto black True Hobby one. So yeah, I've got the True Black 1 of 1 auto and base of Eze from his last Prism.
Yeah, it's I've heard of worse starts. I've heard of a lot worse. Obviously, that's one of the talking points I want to say about it, is mangas have obviously changed quite a bit this year. Personally, I'm more of a fan of this year's ones than last year's one. Last year's was a lot more, like the actual card design was a lot more silver around the edge. It was like an orange and blue in the background, and then you could really make out the players, but it weren't true manga art form, in my personal opinion. Whereas this year, it's full blown manga art style. I'm a big fan of them. Shame I don't collect men's cards anymore, really, because I probably would pick up one of them. But I'm a personal fan of it. Some of them are a bit questionable. Some of them you've got to kind of be like, I wonder who that is. But then some of them, oh my god, they are incredible to look at. I've seen Lav showed me the Drogba one the other day, which is a very cool one. The Gareth Bale is another very cool one. But them mangas, that's what I think they should be. That's what they've had in the NFL before. But I like them a lot more this year. But it could just be me and my art style that I prefer.
I'm a big fan as well. Definitely an upgrade. The small details of the Japanese writing on the sides and the edges, it just looked really, really smart. And I hate to be biased, but the Eze one is absolutely fantastic. His celebration with the cross, I mean, that's just so good. Yes, as you say, there's a few questionable ones. I think the Hazard one for Chelsea is a little bit interesting. It does not look like him. But the other ones, there's some great ones. Haaland one, obviously. I mean, they've really got the Saka one's nice as well. Big fan of that. Knee sliding, I'm pretty sure. They've really gone for it. Those kinds of cards where they're celebrating, that's what I love. You know, when they're in action, that's what it should be with kabooms. But it's just they haven't done that in years. They just have them standing there in some random pose. They need to have them, you know, properly doing some epic move or something like that. So yeah, big fan of the mangas this year. Prismania as well. That's another super short print case here, which again is divided opinions, but I get what they're going for. It's a retro sort of take on, you know, the bobblehead kind of thing. They've had it in American sports as well, I'm pretty sure. And then obviously the Color Blast is just Color Blast is Color Blast. Is you cannot argue with it. It's stunning.
Yeah, I think the Color Blast is really taken on that iconic card now, especially as well in the soccer world, so to speak, of some of the best cards, especially for Panini, is that Color Blast. You got Color Blast, you got Kabooms. I say they're like the two now at the top. They've set themselves apart from the rest. And I love a Color Blast. I know obviously you do if you're PSA 10, which you got, but they are great looking cards. And it's a shame, and we're just going to touch on it slightly now. It is a shame that obviously it's going over to Tops come June. Obviously, it does. Then it opens up more doors. The Premier League Superfractors are back in. Tops now is coming back in. However, I think everyone has, despite everyone, and this is me and you included, everyone gets annoyed at Panini or Tops at a time because of print runs, but that's just how it is. That's how it is. However, I'm personally sad to see the back of Panini Prism. I don't even collect it, and I'm going to be sad to see the back of it. And I know your collection has got quite a few Panini cards in it because Eze's literally near enough only ever had Panini. So it's a shame at the end of the day. But like as we say, it's now time to see the next thing, and certain other sets will be coming soon. So it is a shame. I was hoping to see maybe one last Chronicles, but it don't seem like that's been renewed again this year. But it is a shame to see the end of Panini and the Premier League license.
Yeah, it is. With the iconic gold out of 10 in Premier League Prism, just can't be defeated. But if you think about it at the moment, really with Prism, where it's at is even Premier League. So this will carry over into Tops, no doubt. I thought the Prism checklist it's still not the best. Imagine if you wanted a personal or whole case, you just can't do that with Prism. There's no monetary value in doing that. Even a Haaland Black 1 of 1, I still don't think now you're making all your money back, in my opinion. Possibly, maybe just about money back, but you've got to have an incredible hobby case to see any reward from doing that. It's at a tricky point, and Tops have a lot of work to do to make Premier League cards have that sort of value again. But I guess that's why breaking's so good at the moment, or a good option for collectors. You know, if you, I don't know, for example, I'll say it again, if you do collect Eze, instead of buying boxes and going out there and buying cases or whatever, you can just buy them in a couple of case breaks, and then you only get the cards you want. That's what breaking's meant to be. It's for collectors buying the players they want in a break. So yeah, I know Tops have a great legend portfolio with autos. That's what they need to bring into their Premier League products next year to sort of, entice people getting back into the Premier League. But yeah, definitely will miss Panini Prism products. The other ones they released, Select, that was a stunning product. I actually love Select. Obsidian, that's another one. Yeah, we'll see. We've got a Tops pristine Premier League to look forward to next year.
Please have learned from the last pristine release, please, because that opening a pack to get another pack to open a pack to open another pack, and it was just like, what is going on? Mad card. That was a crazy release. But there was one other release we've got to talk about, and obviously I'm going to be biased now. I can finally talk about Arsenal women being in a release again for the first time in about a year and a half. My bank has warned me already about Chrome and Sapphire when it does come out. However, Women's Knockout has come out, and for the first time ever, I can actually just show off a box, which is great. But obviously, you've just broken 10 boxes of it as well over from Dub Breaks. Another 10 boxer, which will probably be breaking when this comes out, hopefully. What a release. Before I even get into my personal box, which has finally happened. 159 episodes it's taken for me to actually be able to talk positively about a personal box. But great release. Base cards, maximum number is to 99. Autos are all to 49 and less. They're the type of releases we love to think. Big names, big autos. dual autos to chase, great looking cards as well. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm into the women's world a lot more. So when there's a release, it could be a terrible release when it comes to women's, and I'd be excited because we don't get much. So for someone who's broken a lot of different stuff recently, I think it's a good release. And I know Dub Breaks did have some nice cards in their 10 boxer, but do you agree as well? These are the type of releases that work really well.
Yeah, I think the price point as well was spot on.
Yeah.
£65, you've got 2 numbered and a guaranteed auto.
Yeah.
The women's game isn't quite there with the men's in terms of price points yet. Will it come? Hopefully one day it will sort of start to balance out. But that's why Chrome sort of flopped last year because the price was too high. Knockout, perfect. Guaranteed auto, and you got the 2 numbers to 99 or less. Shorter checklist. Obviously, there's less teams in women's knockout, so it was quite easy to hit some good cards. But again, that's what you want. That's the best part about it. You know, that's what you're chasing. So, I mean, if you are a women's collector listening into this, I'd definitely recommend, if you haven't already, pick up a box or enter the breaks over at Dub Breaks and, you know, chase your favorite player.
And we was talking about rare cards to chase in Prism. You go for your Color Blasts, you go for your Prismanias. Tops, you go for your Super Fractors, your on-card autos. However, in women's knockout, you go for Hans van Aken.
Yeah, well, out of context, that's absolutely crazy. But it is, that happened. Check out the Instagram, dub.breaks. Yeah, I mean, why? How? That's probably the best quality control error I've ever seen.
Yeah, great.
In cards. That a very funny moment. Just check out the Instagram page.
Yeah, check out the Instagram for context of it. It's absolutely hilarious. And everyone's reaction was the same. He just didn't know what to say. But just going back to my personal box, I managed to hit a lovely PC card, which I'm still over the moon about. I managed to hit Alessia Russo to 5. So in 159 episodes, I'm happy now. So if it does take me another 159 episodes to hit something out of a personal box, God knows what checklists are going to be out then by then. But obviously, just concluding it all, I just want to talk about Dub Breaks to end off this episode. And because I've been doing a lot of breaks over there, there's been some really interesting stuff live from the Fnatic store, also obviously live from the HQ as well. So how's it been going for you in Dub Breaks? Because you've been getting stuck in with Chrome, Prism, you've been getting stuck in with women's knockout. There's been quite a lot of releases to keep you on your toes within the last 3 to 4 weeks.
It's probably the most fun I've had as a breaker in years. I'd say it's got to that stage where we're breaking regularly. We've got a good little community starting to grow again. It's been tough the last year or so, especially last 6 to 8 months, trying to, you know, break regularly. We're on the website and Twitch, and it just wasn't working. We knew Fanatics Live was coming, so it was always good to wait that out. It was painful. It was a long old wait, but we got there eventually. Slow start, don't get me wrong. Fanatics Live has been far from perfect to kick things off, but it is slowly starting to get there. We persevered, we kept on going, and we're seeing the rewards now. And I think long term, you know, it should hopefully be absolutely fantastic for us. Big fan of the guys over at Fanatics Live as well. I think they've been really helpful along the way. They know it's not been perfect so far, but yeah, I'm sure it will continue to grow within the UK. That's what they need to do. Just continue pushing it out in the UK, and then things will continue to progress. But yeah, Dub definitely doing well at the moment, which is nice to see.
I was going to say, it's been a learning process, especially from going on Fanatics Live. And that was one of my main questions was, when you started, you was doing trying out a lot of one boxes here and there. And one boxes are so tricky because people want to buy in because it's cheaper in price, but then the odds of hitting is a lot lower. But now you go into that, there's like a perfect middle ground I found, especially for like hobby boxes, like 3 to 6, 5 to 7, 8. That works so well. And these created sets even being up to a 10 boxer, that's kind of the perfect balance between not too expensive, but not too cheap, about the right price point, but also a lot of hits as well.
Yeah, I think that's something we had to learn the hard way as well. We started off thinking it was like Whatnot, where single box breaks do seem to work. It did on the first couple of, well, it didn't actually. It didn't really work at all. On our test stream, it worked with the Premier League Chrome we did. But other than that, when it first launched, we tried a few single boxes of Logo Fractor. I know it's F1, so it's a bit of a harder market to sell to, but it just wasn't working. We tried it with a couple of other releases, and they just weren't selling. It wasn't worth our time doing those brakes. So, yeah, we had a little sort of reassessment of the brakes we were doing, and personally, as a breaker and someone who buys into a lot of brakes, who has bought into a lot of brakes, I'd much rather enter a brake where it's more than one box. I'd want to secure my spot. None of this random stuff. I want to secure a spot I want across multiple boxes, because if I don't hit, fair enough. That's game's a game. But if you're buying a random spot in one box and you don't hit, and you keep on buying in and in, you're spending more and more money on stuff you don't necessarily want. So it's rewarding the collector, which again is a good thing. Something we've stood by since the start, really, at Dub Brakes. So, yeah, definitely more of the multi-box brakes, hopefully case brakes in the near future when the platform starts to grow.
Yeah, I think you touched on it perfectly there. And I think that's the one thing that people, especially within the UK, really understand now of. You can buy other spots, but you end up, if you're going to hit, you're probably just going to sell it off anyway. So rather than spend 100 quid on a break and get like 10 spots, 9 of them you're not even interested in, maybe just spend that little bit more on that one spot that, if you hit, perfect, it's in my collection, it's a big card. And if not, you kind of be like, well, at least I haven't got random stuff to deal with. I think that's been working really well. And lastly, there's a new member on board, a streaming platform, who's gone down so well in his first solo stream, and obviously with you at the Fnatic store last week. Obviously, Plute, who a lot of people might know from Twitch, streaming FIFA for, it seems like he's been around for a long time on Twitch now, but has settled in. And I've got to admit, the on-screen chemistry between you two at the store, it just bounced off each other, and you could tell straight away that he has been on camera for a long time. You can just tell now with people, and I think it's been a great addition to Dub yet again.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. It was a slow start to try and get him on board because, again, as we said, we were doing some breaks which clearly weren't working. So again, when we reassessed and went to the multi-box breaks, we started to see the rewards of that, and we were able to get Plute on board to start breaking. I mean, his first stream didn't disappoint hits-wise. Cheeky Bellingham Vinny dual auto. He's got a bit of a knack with the dual autos because he hit the Van Dyke Carragher one at the store the other day. But yeah, as you say, that was something we wanted, like a breaker who knows how to be on camera, who can stream, who's got a bit of a community already. We are looking at getting a few other names as well. So we'll see what we can do. But Plute's been fantastic. He's eager to learn about more cards as well, because he's not been collecting long. I think just over a year he's been learning about these cards. So hopefully the more he opens, the more we give him to open, he will start to cook.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going down very well. And obviously, is there anything for people to look forward to? I know there's quite a few breaks on Fanatics Live as we speak. Obviously, we're recording this Monday. It comes out Tuesday. So Women's Knockout is scheduled for tonight. There's a Chrome Mixer coming up. And as you mentioned earlier, there's potentially a new Prison break going up quite soon as well in the work, so to speak.
Yes, as you say, Women's Knockout is probably live right now. It could be breaking right now. We never know. But there will be another 10 boxes to go up at some point for that, because we'd have 10 boxes left after the one breaking now at the time of upload. Chrome Mixer, that is tomorrow at the time of upload. That is 5 hobby free jumbo. Ooh. Very fun. That's a lot of 14 autos all in ish. Yeah, 14, maybe more, because in one of our boxes the other day we got Archie Gray and the triple auto in one pack. So all autos, 4 autos in one pack. How about that? So yeah, got that to look forward to. That's a stacked break, and already big spots have gone in that, which is huge. Yeah, Prism, as you say. We did a half caser last week. None of the case hits were pulled. Oh. So there's another half caser to be done. It's from that case. All the case hits are going to be in there. I'm talking manga, snake skin, case hit auto, and another Genesis. We did pull a Genesis in the first half, but usually there's 2 a case. So well, there we go. There's 4 case hits ready and waiting for that next half case to go up, which I might send over to Plute. So that might be a little break for Plute. Bless him to do over this coming weekend, because I'm away, so to speak.
Yeah, and for anyone who hasn't obviously been on Fanatics Live before, I know there is a sign-up bonus as well. There's a few steps to take, but we won't bore people with the steps so far, but obviously, can just for anyone who might want to sign up off the back of this, how would they do it and to receive their £25 free credit?
Yeah, go to what's the link? Yeah, fanatics.live/ref, as in referee, /dub-breaks. There we go. That's your link. That will get you £25 once you add your payment method, which has money in it. That would help. And a valid UK shipping address and phone number for shipping and tracking updates. And you confirm your email when prompted to do so. That way, after all those steps, you should have £25 credit in your account. If you don't, contact support, because I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, don't say. Definitely go head over. Use that. It's free money. Like at the end of the day, it's free money. If your spot is literally £25, you can use credit. All you need to do is pay shipping. Yeah. How great is that? So if you haven't done that, head over. Obviously, the socials will be down below for dub breaks and also GBW. But there's one question before. It's now going into UEFA finals time, also the playoffs time. So I know our good friend, Mr. Dan, will be listening to this. Obviously, prediction for the Championship playoff final between Sheffield United and Sunderland.
Oh, I mean, Sheffield United, they're a strong team. Realistically, it should have been them, Burnley, and Leeds to go up. It should have been the top three, but the playoffs is the playoffs. Yeah. You know, they absolutely battered Bristol City, which they didn't lose at home at all this season, or much at all. And they got back to 3-0 in their own backyard, Bristol. So, Sunderland went into the playoffs in terrible form. Even QPR beat them, which is terrible for them. I think it goes the distance. I think it could be a penalty shootout. I reckon in 1-1, and it'll be a penalty shootout. The question is, who's got more bottle in a penalty shootout? I'm backing Dan. Sunderland to go up.
No, I've got to mention the women's final, and I won't be offended because there's a clear favourite for this final. It's arguably, I think, the greatest team to ever play women's football at the moment, which is Barcelona, obviously versus my beloved Arsenal. So no offence when you do mention a certain team to win it, but prediction?
I hope for some goals. Goals both ends would be nice, but you just never know. It's a Champions League final. You know, you didn't think you'd beat Lyon in their own backyard, so a neutral venue as well. So you just never know. I'm going to back Arsenal. Why not?
I'll take your optimism. Dan will take your optimism for that one. Yeah. So far we've got Sunderland. We're not gambling people, but if we was, there's quite high odds so far. And obviously the conclusion in Munich the following Saturday between Inter Milan and Paris Saint-Germain, which should be a good. I'm actually really looking forward to this final.
Yeah, which it's weird because on paper you see those teams and you think, oh, that's a boring final. That sounds like a group game, but no, they've been two absolutely fantastic teams in their own way. Inter Milan Inzaghi's got that team set up well. Barcelona had however many shots it was or the possession, but they still conceded 9 goals over 2 legs. So that shows Barcelona's weakness defensively. I really feel like Inter will do it. I know PSG are good on the break, and their midfield and attack is stupid. And they've arguably got the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment, Donnarumma. He's been unbelievable. Sorry to bring up Donnarumma. I know he's.
You got to give him his credit for that performance in the semi-finals.
He's ridiculous. I'm going to back Inter Milan. It'd be nice, but I'm literally wearing an Inter Milan shirt right now. So got to back the team I managed to watch a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
I was going to say I fancy Inter Milan as well, but another added pressure on it. If PSG do win it, I think Dembele becomes favourite for the Ballon d'Or. So there's that other edge to it. But I would say it's great. I love this time of the season. You've got 3 playoff finals, 4 European Cup finals, including one that features 16th versus 17th in the Premier League, which is an intriguing one. But I will be watching that from behind my sofa because I might have to go off the grid for about 6 years. But obviously a massive thanks to you coming back on. And like I say, it's obviously dub breaks, obviously your channels as well, which have been doing very well late. But where do you want people to post? Because there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube. You're covering all platforms for both dub breaks and yourself now.
Yeah, if you see my name or dub breaks, say hello, give us a follow, smash the like button, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Just show your support. Appreciate it, one and all.
Like I was saying, massive thanks for coming on yet again, and no doubt it'll be quite soon because I think we might have to do a special in not too distant future in about 6 weeks for our little trip to the National.
100%. I cannot wait for that. That's going to come up pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
Insert Michael Scott quote. Yeah, that's it's going to be good fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, obviously we can't wait for it. But again, massive thanks to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need car supplies, custom car stands, great preparation kits, or whatever you may be, head over to their website, head to their shop, or use the link in the bio and use TTP10 at checkout. Save 10% off your order. So for everyone out there, enjoy all the finals that are coming quick and fast because it's going to be mental. And obviously all the card shows as well. But I hope everyone out there is staying safe, doing well, buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.